Who first comes to mind when you think of a revolutionary? Is it the founding fathers? Is it the civil rights activists? Is it the labor union workers? Is it Jesus? Because at the end of the day, Jesus was a revolutionary. See, if revolution is about advancing humanity to a new stage, to a better stage, Jesus did just that, right? He changed people's ways of thinking. He invited people into a better way of life. He even called it the abundant life. And he did all of this by laying his weapons down. He even told his followers to put their swords down. And so how did he do it? And how do we do it? Well, I think to understand how we start a revolution like Jesus did, we have to understand what a revolution is. So let's break it down. Revolution happens through spontaneous and organized and active expressions of change. These expressions of change are driven by a vision for a better future, for a better world. This vision happens when people start to have longings and convictions and thoughts and feelings and ideas. Ideas get sparked by imagination. Imagination gets activated through storytelling and art. So at the end of the day, you can draw a direct line from revolutionary movemental change to imaginative creativity. This is why a lot of people have said that the role of an artist is to make the revolution irresistible. See, Jesus' movement over time proved to be irresistible. And I wonder if it's because in a lot of ways, Jesus was an imaginative artist. See, he told parables. Parables are just imaginative stories of a kingdom where people were actually set free. He performed miracles. Miracles are imagination coming to life in the form of physical healing. He was fueled by the words of the prophets who dared to dream and imagine a better future, and he empowered a few people to imagine a new way forward. All of this changed the entire Roman Empire in 300 years. So yes, imagination is the catalyst for revolution. But here's the hard reality, is where our imagination is lacking, our ability to effect change lacks as well. And this is why, honestly, I feel like the church, specifically in America, is still far from a revolution. It's because our imagination is lacking. And where we do have imagination, it's either disoriented or misdirected. And here's what I mean. Coronavirus has made it increasingly clear that it's probably easier for us to imagine the end of the world than it is for us to imagine the end of something like police brutality. All of the injustices and inequities that this moment has exposed, like the recent murder of Ahmaud Arbery, has made it clear it's easier for us to imagine the dismantling of all of society than it is for us to imagine the dismantling of racist, oppressive structures. It's easier for us to fight for 2 words in the Pledge of Allegiance than it is for us to fight for the actual voiceless and powerless neighbors in our own communities. And it's easier for us to imagine ways we can finance bigger buildings and better programs and more ministries than to imagine how we can use our resources to create opportunity for the least of these. We are living in a poverty of imagination. And there's a decision to make, right? We can choose to let our imagination be set free, or we can reduce our imagination to our self-preservation, to institutional preservation. See, for me personally, and for our community, we are committing to letting our imagination be set free. Because when our imagination is set free, we can start a revolution, and our God is a revolutionary. So we're choosing to move forward. We can only move forward. It's the only way. And we're realizing that we can't arrive at what we don't imagine.